Greetings and welcome to the Fresh, Bold, and So Deaf Symposium, a tribute to women in hip hop. In these few moments that we have with you, we would like to introduce ourselves, the members of the Hip Hop Education Center's Research Committee. Our group is composed of researchers as well as practitioners who are based both throughout the United States as well as in other locales across the globe. So I'm going to throw the question out to the group in terms of what we believe the value might be of putting together a women in hip hop timeline at this very moment.
Making a woman in hip hop timeline is very necessary because they are here from the beginning. And talking about hip hop without women is a mistake.
The culture is not complete without the presence of women. And I think from this point on in our history and culture that women get their respect and the love that they deserve and the empowerment that is needed for this culture to prosper.
Like many things in this country and many storytelling, the storytelling is usually done by some dominant part of the group. And in hip hop, from really the beginning, a lot of that has been from men, to be quite honest. So in order for us to be really real about everything and everyone who's been there from the beginning, both men and women, we need to make sure that we reframe, and kind of correct the record from what we usually learn.
From us growing up in the Bronx and Bronx River Center, we learned a lot about the history and the culture firsthand because a lot of the people that were there used to come through to our meetings and events and speak on it and teach on it. So for us, from a very young age, I learned about MC Sha Rock and Queen Lisa Lee and Debbie D, and we were taught to refer to all of them as queen because of their contribution. It wasn't until I got older, that I realized the rest of the world didn't really know about them.
I ended up learning about hip hop history first through a lot of hip hop history first through my university classes. And I think in that kind of space, that a lot of the women in early hip hop did experience erasure because the main people who were touchstones for the time periods, each time period of hip hop tended to be men up until maybe like the 2000s. And so I feel like this kind of project has allowed me to learn about a lot more women that I wouldn't have learned about otherwise.
So I think as we talk about it, we have to be very careful and mindful as we talk about this timeline, because it was for a lack of a better term, it was very tedious to really, even for me who grew up in the Bronx and watching it, it was like I had to really sit down and go, wait a minute, Mercedes ladies, and then this one, and then some of the people who haven't even been mentioned yet. It is just like, okay, how do we make sure we don't leave anyone out? Because the recorded part is a little bit of the easy part, but the people who come before recorded hip hop, that's the difficult part.
I honor, respect this culture, and really care about how we teach it and our skills and our strategies and how we take this seriously when we're teaching hip hop to our young folks.
We also used a lot of, like you said, firsthand experiences and then secondary resources, right? So we had a lot of folks that, on this committee and others that had firsthand experiences and so on, but then we also utilize as a methodology secondhand sources and checked and rechecked and make sure that there's accuracy, because if you're just going online looking for things, most of the time you can't count on it being valid or reliable.
We live in a culture, being on this Western side of the world, where there's a privileging of the written word, but the written word, to Rich's point, isn't always accurate, right? There's other challenges, obviously, with oral histories as well, right? People's memories. It's very difficult to remember what you did last week. So now we're tapping into people, asking them what happened 45 years ago. That's a challenge, And so thinking about all the different kinds of artifacts that we could pair together, including memory, to then come up with as complete a record of history as possible.
Our whole timeline serves as a starting point. And then, like we're doing with these symposiums, we invite the followers and the viewers to add on to it and to continue.